What's up, everybody? This your boy T-Dubs back again, never stopping, never quitting. And I want to let y'all know that this is the T-Dubs Show. Okay, and as I always do, this show is called Know Your Worth. This show will tie into the last show when I said use what you got, and knowing that, you know, the people that you need in your life are already there, and usually your husband / wife is normally the one that's been there all along and half the time. And I'm going to explain to you why we ignore. This is one reason why we ignore these people that are already in our life, the good men, the good women, that kind of thing, and why we always seek the bad and why we always run away from them. Sometimes we just run away from them. Here's an explanation as to why. Good relationships, good men, good women, like real women, they require you to invest, to work. You have to put in work. You got to do a lot of work. It's a lot of work that's involved in being with a good woman, being with a good man. It's going to be work. You can't be comfortable. It requires you to be uncomfortable. It requires you to constantly grow, to constantly be pushed, to constantly be built up, to constantly be in a moving state. You can't be stagnant. You can't do any of this with a good man / good woman, because they're not going to let you. They're going to be always aiming for higher heights. And we know this in our mind, in the back of our mind, we know that they are always going to expect the best out of us, and they have a higher standard. They have a higher maintenance requirements. Just like with good houses, nice expensive houses, they require more maintenance. They require more work. They require more attention. Nice fancy cars, they require more. It's a higher note, higher maintenance. When you need it, if it's broken down, you need to put more money into it to get it fixed. You have to work harder to take care of it. Same thing with people. If you have good quality people in your life, you're going to have to focus on the upkeep and the maintenance that it's going to cost. If you want a good friend, you got to know how to be a good friend. Just like if you want a good husband, you got to know how to be a good wife. You have to know how to be a good husband if you want a good wife. The same thing. So half the time we're not really truly ready for commitment. We're not truly and really ready to settle down. We just want somebody as a companion half the time. We just want somebody that we don't have to put in the work to keep, and usually it leads into our destruction, because we don't have that support system that we need from that good man / good woman. We're desiring the things that they give us, but we don't want to put in the work. We don't want to accept their flaws. We don't want to take the time out and build with them and help them and build a structure based off what they're requiring, and we're not willing to respect it. We're not willing to value what they require. We're not willing to value them and who they are, and that allows us to run from them. Either one reason, it allows us to run from them. We see a good woman, a lot of men, we run. We try to avoid it. In the back of our mind, let's keep it 100. Half the time, we see a good woman that want to give us the world, that want to give us everything that we need, and we run. We don't give them our all. We don't want to, we don't want to commit, do those things, but we run to the ones that's mistreating us, the ones that's in the streets, that's doing whatever they do. Because in our minds, I'm gonna delve into the psychological aspect of it. We do this because we don't want to put in the work. We don't want to do the necessary things that's required to keep these women, the good women. So we go after the bad ones because they don't require that. They're not as high maintenance. That's why it's like you go out there and get a hoopty. That's not as high maintenance. It don't require as much work. It still get you where you're going. It still do what it need to do, but it don't require as much work. It don't require as much maintenance. But you can't expect, I'm gonna tell you this, you cannot expect quality out of something like that. You can't expect somebody like that that's not, that's running the streets, that's doing what they want to do, that's half-tailing it through life, to actually give you those things that you're looking for from so-called good woman, the queen, the wife, whatever you want to call it. You can't expect those qualities, because if you want a good woman, you're going to have to do the work. If you want those qualities, you got to pay for that stuff. Just like you want quality food, you got to pay for it. It's expensive. You want healthy food, it's expensive. You have to put in the work. You have to do what is necessary to get it. You have to do what's necessary to get it. Ladies, if you want a good man, you're a good man all around you. Half the time, you overlook them because you see, they're on a certain level. And we sell ourselves short because, we don't want to put in that work. Like I said, we don't want to settle down. Those type of things. And that gets in our way. That hinders us. That's why we get hurt. That's why we get heartbroken. That's why all these kind of things happen, because we don't want to put in the necessary work to go ahead and get the good one and go on about our business. If you just go ahead and get you a good man man and put in the necessary work and take the time out and build with him, and it's going to take work. It's going to be a long process. It's going to be a lot of shifting. It's going to be a lot of tweaking, twerking. It's going to be a long, tedious process because he's going to have to do a lot of things to mold together. The same thing for the men. You have to do a lot of tweaking and all of that to get things in order. If y'all get married, it's going to be a lot of work involved to keep her happy. It's going to be a lot of, finding out new recipes, finding out new massages and different foot creams or foot massages, different things like that, different ways to cater to her and different ways to make her happy, coming up with new ideas, coming up with new cooking recipes. And yes, it will involve getting in the kitchen and sometimes putting the meal together, things like that. It involves a whole lot of work, and we're going to have to accept this. If we want a good marriage, we want a good relationship, happy relationship, it's going to require us to put in some work. It's going to require us to, hey, I want a good one. I'm tired of being hurt. I'm tired of being shut down. We have to know our worth. We have to know and be ready to put in work. And now I'm going to take a little break, and when we get back, we're going to talk about the things that we have to do to show that we know our worth. So don't go anywhere, because I will be back.
It's kinda crazy that your name is Grace. Your name is Grace. Cause that's what I need right now in this crazy place. It's crazy. It's not that I did something, it's the fact that I didn't. And I'm so ashamed, it took 25 years just to get it. People make fun, not just laugh, but that was me as a child. I just pray you forgive me. Nah, 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 nah. Hear my heart, hear my heart, hear my heart. Nah, 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 nah. Hear my heart, hear my heart, hear my heart. I remember your son graduation. That's when I met your friends, and they was all having conversation, but they was saying stuff that I couldn't understand. Then all of a sudden it felt like I understood something I missed my whole life. For the first time I was wearing your shoes, and for the first time I was hearing your views. I never knew how complicated life is when you feel so isolated. And I know we don't speak much, cause when talking got hard, all I ever did was throw the piece up. My big sister Grace, I'm sorry, I never learned to sign. And even though you were born deaf, I pray you forgive me for the years I lived blind. Nah, 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 nah. Hear my heart, hear my heart, hear my heart. Nah, 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 nah. Hear my heart, hear my heart, hear my heart. Sometimes these words aren't enough, so let me show ya, let me show ya. It's gonna take time. Sometimes these words aren't enough, so let me show ya, let me show ya. It's kinda crazy. Na 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 na. In my heart, in my heart, in my heart. Na 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 na. In my heart. Na 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 na. In my heart.
Alright, now welcome back to the T-Dub Show. And where we left off, we were talking about why we run from men and different women, the good ones, why we choose to run from them, why we don't go and pursue those while we only pursue the bad. And I said it was due to us not wanting to put in the work, us not wanting to take time out and improve ourselves. We're being lazy when it comes to relationships. We're being lazy when it comes to committing and actually breaking down and settling down with different people, because settling down requires a lot of work, and we know this in the back of our mind. So we try to avoid it. We try to see what's going to take the less amount of work possible. Basically, we're being cheap when it comes to relationships. We're being cheap when it comes to these type of things. So in order to avoid that, we're going to have to show that we are valuable ourselves. We're going to have to up the ante on what we want. We're going to have to up the ante on what we pursue by upping our own prices. We're going to have to do our own maintenance on ourselves. We're going to have to constantly make ourselves better on our own. If we can't do that when we're by ourselves, we're going to darn sure have a hard time in the relationships and the marriages and things like that. So what we need to do, we need to sit back and observe. You notice good men and good women around you. You notice what they do. You notice that they don't settle for less. You notice that they don't respond to everybody. You notice that they don't respond to everyone's inboxes. You know that they don't respond to everyone that tries to talk to them, everyone that tries to spark a certain type of conversation with them, because they know their worth. They know what their body is worth. They know what their mind is worth. They know where they stand in life, and they refuse to lower their prices. Just like a business that has good quality service, they know not to lower their prices, because what you're going to be getting from that business is going to be quality. Just like certain rings, certain places that sell engagement rings, sell marriage rings. If you want to purchase a ring from them, they're going to have very high prices if they're good quality, and they're not going to lower their prices because they know that work is quality. They know you're going to be getting something quality. They know, just like with car dealerships and things like that, they know that you're going to have a good product. They know their product is worth buying, so they're not going to lower their prices. They refuse to do so. Just the same thing we should do when it comes to ourselves. We know what we're worth. We need to know by not lowering our prices. We need to set standards and not lower our prices, because we need to set standards on what we want to be, how we want to be treated. We need to write down how we want to be treated, write down what we feel we deserve in a relationship, what we deserve in a marriage, and we need to carry out those same things. Well, write down what we expect, write down what you expect in a marriage. Think about what you want from a relationship, what you want from a marriage, and you need to be able to fulfill those things also. Just like you want to be treated right in a relationship or in a marriage, just start practicing, start treating other people right. Start doing other things towards other people that you want to be. That says it says do unto others as you would want them to do unto you. So whatever we want to be treated, how we want to be treated, and whatever we want, we need to start distributing those things. Whatever we want to receive, we need to start giving those things, because it says give and it shall be given unto you. So we have to distribute those things to show that we know our worth. Because if we don't, we're not going to receive those. If we don't up the ante, we don't step up, if we don't give those things, we don't give what we want to receive, we're not going to be blessed with those things. If we don't show ourselves as a good husband or a good wife, we're not going to receive a good husband or a good wife. We have to be able to take it up. We have to be able to turn it up. But if we're not doing these things, it is not going to work. There's no other way to do it. There's no other principle added. This is the only way to do it. We have to be able to raise our standards by just not doing any and everything, by not accepting any and everybody in our life, just not going for any and everybody that want to be with us, not just falling for any and every line that somebody give us, not just going for any and everything that look good, that seem good, that sound good, but look cheap, or it's cheap, I'm gonna get that. No, we have to be willing to put in the work for the high prices, and we have to be willing to keep our prices at a certain level also, and not lower our prices, because we are worth it. We are worth it. We have to be willing to stay at that same level, because we know that they're going to be getting a good product. We know that they're going to get a good product from the kind of people we are. We're good men, and if we're good men and good women, we have to know that we are quality. We have to know to not sell ourselves short, to not let people take advantage of us, and not be looked at as cheap, and not go after cheap things, because those things are not going to give you the quality that you need. Those type of people, those type of women, those type of men are not going to give you the quality that you need. If you're just going after any old man, any old woman, they're not going to give you the quality that you need. We've discussed that in the first half of the show. They're not going to be able to do it. So we need to go after the ones that require the work. We need to just go ahead and get the good one. Just like you don't get no old raggedy used tire. You go ahead and get you a new tire. If you do a lot of traveling, you go ahead and get you a new tire. Just like if you want a long term, if you want something that's going to last a long time, you go ahead and get the good thing. you go ahead and get the good tires. If you want to travel, you want it to last long, you get the good tires. You get the good car if you want it to last a long time. Just like you want a relationship that's going to last a long time, you need to go ahead and get the good quality person. Get the good quality. Get you a king, get you a queen. Go ahead and get the up to date. Go ahead and get the newest. Go ahead and get the latest and the greatest. Go ahead and get the best. Go ahead, you deserve it. If you want if that's what you want, if you just want something temporary, and you wonder why all your relationships are temporary, and you just steady chasing temporary moments and trying to turn it into a lifetime, now you see what your problem is, because you don't know your worth. You don't know where you stand at. You don't know what you don't know what you don't have any expectations, and you don't expect nothing. So the moral of the story is, if we want the good thing, we want the good man, we want the good woman, we're gonna have to step it up. We're gonna have to write down what we expect from a marriage, from a relationship, from things like that, and we're gonna have to be able to turn around and be able to carry out those things. We're gonna have to be able to distribute those things. We're gonna have to be able to give those things out as well as we want to receive them. And that's how, my friend, you know your worth. And if you live for God, believe in what He say, then He is going to take you a mighty long way. Y'all be blessed. I love y'all.